we can be friends when you're not so fragile. When you know yourself well, somewhere down the sweet line. When I do things for me, 'cause I don't wanna be a therapy, I wanna be free. So, ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me just stay, do stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, I know, you know, it's time you let me go. Don't call, don't follow, 'cause I'll do it fine on my own. I know, you know, it's time I'll let you go. Don't call, don't follow, 'cause I'll be gone. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me just stay, do stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Get out of my way, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Get out of my way.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. How's everyone today? Did we all listen to the Archetypes podcast? How amazing was it? This has actually got to be my most favorite so far, I have to say. Like, I was really hot on the Mindy Kaling one. Like, that's been my favorite so far, just because it spoke to me so much. Like, it spoke to me so much that I feel like I sent that episode to maybe like 20 people. Like, people who I don't even speak to that regularly got a text from me. Like, that's how strongly I felt that it connected with me. But this one, wow. Wow, wow, wow. A lot was said. And we're going to get into that. But we will get into the daily news before we get into a review of the Archetypes podcast, because it was amazing. But welcome so much to the chat, everyone. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. Lorna Williams, I have noticed that retailers, including Amazon, started Black Friday sales 2 weeks earlier this year to get our money. I guess they're afraid of the coming recession. Well, we're already in recession. We've been in it for a while. It's just been like a slow-moving train crash. But yeah, especially with the Christmas season coming up, they want to get those sales in early. But always remember with the sales, buy only what you need, and then you won't be wasting money. So for me, I usually have a note of what I want to buy for Black Friday months in advance, and it has to be stuff that I actually need. So just be careful you don't overspend. Hello, Ruth Brown. Hi, Kennetha. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Compton Callie. Hey, Mama Jane. Hi, Joe. Good afternoon to you. Elaine, I have just had the most wonderful news. My grandson and his partner are having a rainbow baby after a miscarriage a year ago today, their first baby. Amazing, Elaine Parker. For those of you that don't know, rainbow baby is a phrase that's used after somebody's had a miscarriage and they've been able to conceive. So congratulations to you, Elaine Parker. That is wonderful. Miscarriage is something that unfortunately affects a lot of women, including our fave. who has spoken about her miscarriage publicly. So very, very happy for you. Wonderful news. Wishing the little one all the best. Joe blogs, every week I developed a renewed respect for Meghan. She's going for those big guns. The royal family must be really kicking themselves at losing her. I don't know, are they kicking themselves at losing her? Because the way these people think, I'm trying to think like them, right? Obviously, we love Meghan and we know that they should be kicking themselves. But do they know that they should be kicking themselves? Because the way they've gone on is, you'd think, and I actually do think, they still believe that they are the center of the universe, and that whatever Harry and Meghan are doing over there in Hollywood, they keep saying Hollywood, they don't actually live in Hollywood. That's just some nonsense for the peasants, and they are the end all and be all of excellence. So we know that they should be kicking themselves, but I don't think that they know that they should be kicking themselves, if that makes sense. Hello, everyone, for joining. All right, let's get straight to it. Obviously, earlier podcast today, because Wednesdays is when Anne goes to get her ass kicked. So, some positive stuff. Miss Britney Spears posted this on her Twitter. She said, oh, actually, I don't actually know what she put in the caption. She put anything in the caption, but the actual post itself was, "You're allowed to set a boundary. You're allowed to be clear. It does not make you demanding. It does not make you difficult." Quoting Meghan herself. So, the Queen of Pop quoting the Queen of Queens. Great to see. And Britney has been through a lot. I think she's still going through a lot, and I wish her the best. Over at John Oliver's late night show, he was talking about the royals, and he said, "To me, the royal family is like a human appendix with long evolved past needing and there's a compelling case for their surgical removal." Now, this isn't the first time John Oliver's actually gone after the royals. In fact, when news first came out that Harry and Meghan were engaged, I don't know if actually when they were engaged or when they first started dating, but he did say that Meghan should not get involved with this family, and he said it in a caring way, that this is not the type of family that you want to get involved with. So yeah, that's that. Let's go through the comments before we continue, if there's any. Hello, Pelena. Blessed Wednesday to you too. Kat Harlan, the royal family don't care about Lizzie Meghan. They obviously like some of her projects, but outside of that, they don't care. Well, I don't know if I'd say they like some of her projects. Rather, they are jealous of the popularity that her projects are getting for her, and so they try to copy in their own weird way. Lorna, yes, and the royal family are living in their own delusional world. Yes. I mean, we're throwing tantrums over leaking pens, for goodness sake. Joe, she's going from strength to strength, whilst they are going from sublime to the freaking ridiculous. Imagine they think Kate is going to help them. Mad Wild, you said, I don't think that they are, because I believe in their minds, as long as there is no competition against the royal family, they are happy. Well, I find it's interesting that they believe that it's like Harry and Meghan alone are their only competition, when in actual fact there are 16-year-olds dancing around on TikTok that are more relevant than the royal family right now. So it's like they're so focused on Harry and Meghan, they're not actually looking at the bigger picture, and that the world is moving on from the royals completely. And in any case, the only reason they managed to get any amount of popularity within the pop culture space was because of Diana. Period. Let's see. Showing Commonwealth, Britney is listening. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of famous women who are listening to this and who would love to have a sit down with Meghan as well. Tiger Hub. John Oliver is hilarious, very smart humor. Yes, he's hilarious, and he actually does do some very intelligent reporting. He mixes it with comedy, but if you go to his channel, he's done some really great segments where he talks about quite serious issues as well, albeit with a dose of comedy. But sometimes that's the best way to deliver the message to people. Um, Shania, Brit didn't add a caption, but she tagged "Hello, Mag." Oh, okay. Good to know. Mama Jane, very sick on that island. Oh gosh. Do you know, I don't have a TV and I haven't had one for about a decade. The only time I'm in the presence of a TV is when I come to my mother's house. And I am at my mother's house for the next week or so. And yesterday, I put on Sky News and there was a feature that they were doing on the world and overpopulation, and they specifically decided to focus on Nigeria and the population of Nigeria. Um, Now, I'm not saying that population density and overcrowding and all those things. I'm not saying that they're not issues, but the fact that they specifically chose to focus on an African country with a very strong in like growing strong infrastructure, it was giving like William Too Many Babies in Africa vibes. And then they also had another segment where they showed like a front cover of the Daily Fail. The Daily Fail is now focused on how universities are trying to decolonize certain subjects and how that is too woke. So yeah, you're right when you say they're sick on that island, because this is the messaging that is being put out even on mainstream news channels. And it's on every single news channel that you see, even the ones that are meant to be considered a little bit more respectable, like Sky News. So that's why we have so many issues in this country with the press, because of the way the news is and what they put out. Kat Harlem, that's exactly what I meant. They want the popularity and notoriety from her and Harry's project, yes. Pleasure to be here. Correct me, but didn't the guest Jamila gave the name of the person that introduced Harry and Meghan? I don't remember hearing that. I don't remember hearing that. Unless somebody wants to clear that up, I don't remember that. Um, Lorna, I saw a report that it was only Kate and Camilla were on the balcony for this Remembrance Day, and that Ford Fiesta was delegated to the second balcony. Well, I only saw Kate and Camilla together. I didn't see Ford Fiesta at all, so that's probably true. I didn't see her at all, so I don't even know if she was there. Be amazing. Oh, hello, you're connecting from Nigeria. Oh, please tell me what you thought of that ridiculous Sky News report. Okay, right. On to the next thing. Oh yeah, Jamie Oliver also did a so not Jamie Oliver, John Oliver also did another segment where he spoke about the New Zealand politician for I think it's the Greens, was it the Greens or something, um, who had to be sworn in to Parliament, but she would not read the statement that said, "I pledge allegiance to the Queen," and then she had to say the statement again. So he mentioned her. Also, over at Piers Morgan's network, the Talk TV, the guy who egged Charles was invited to speak. Um, I think that he was quite respectable in the way that he spoke, and he was, he stayed calm. Um, I would like though for networks like this to invite more Republicans to have their voice, because they should be allowed to be heard. And one of the things that the man said, he made a very good point, when Pierce pushed him and said, "Or do you think that this is appropriate?" And he said, "Well, when is the appropriate time? Because we were told that during the funeral it was, unappropriate. So when is the appropriate time to talk about this institution, their privilege, and the fact that they got their wealth from colonization?" So good on him for going and giving Piss more on his 2 cents. Kennetha, the second balcony was Tim Lawrence, the Duke of Kent. If Sophie was there, the camera didn't show her. I don't even know who Tim Lawrence is. Thank you for letting us know. Cinderella, Piss Moron is still on the air. Apparently so. He doesn't want to accept defeat. Oh, Nalisa, that was Australia. Oh, that was Australia, not New Zealand. Thank you for correcting me. Was it Australia? I could have sworn it was New Zealand. Oh, thank you for correcting me if it was. Um, Gail, you said it's amazing the derangers are always harping on about the superficial, but issues that Meghan is highlighting are not taking serious thoughts. I.e., ladies facing death in Iran. Yes. And have you noticed that this week, the usual tabloid screechers are a hell of a lot more silent, because you can come after Meghan all you want. What she said was serious. What that Iranian activist said was serious. And I think they know that if they cause too much of a ruckus like they usually do with the subject matter, it's going to make them look bad. I mean, they already look bad for coming after Meghan, but what do you say um in the face of an issue like this, when women are and their allies are facing death just for fighting for their rights? So it's been noticeably a lot more silent this week. Oh, Tim Lawrence is married to Princess Anne. Okay. Princess Anne's husband. That's who that guy is. Uh, Anne Lewis, Africa is a vast continent, 3 times larger than Europe and North America. There are shortages. Um, China on child experiments has found, yes, the whole one-child policy did not work in China, and Africa was not allowed to develop. Yes. So I found it very strange that Sky News would choose to do a segment like that. And it was like when I saw it, it was giving Prince William uh you know too many babies in Africa vibes. Fatumata, Republicans in the UK is different from US Republicans, for anyone wondering. Yes. So Republicans in the UK are people who are not royalists or monarchists, and they want to abolish the monarchy. And then there's Republicans in the US who are the right wing side of the political spectrum. Joe Blogs, did anyone see that interview with the ex-royal security spilling on Andrew's arrogance, the 72 teddy bears in the bed, and the fact that established Meghan at 35 was not going to be told how or who to be? No, I didn't see that. Where was that, girl? I didn't see that at all. Tiger Cub, Piss Moran has got to be the best nickname for that bloated fool. Indeed. He's going to get his. The court case is coming. Alrighty. So with the other royals, you have Tyndall, who's in the jungle, and he was telling the group about, I think they were like sharing funny experiences or something, and then he said that he did a slut drop in front of his mother-in-law. Mike Tyndall is just like us, y'all. And then William went to visit the England team, because obviously the World Cup is starting soon, the World Cup in Qatar. And as somebody pointed out, how do you explain to someone from outside of the UK that the Prince of Wales visited the England team to wish them well in the World Cup, but not the team from Wales heading to the same World Cup? Listen, if Wales wins the World Cup, they should completely refuse to meet William. Because how are you going to be the Prince of Wales and not visit the Welsh team? Why would you not visit both? I don't understand that. Like, what are the Palace PR thinking? So I hope Wales wins. I'm rooting for Wales. And I hope that if they do win, they don't pay William any attention whatsoever. You don't get to come and have a victory picture if Wales wins. Cindy, I think the tabloids are quiet because William and Kate are coming to Boston. So no criticizing of Harry and Meghan. That could be. Elaine Parker, you saw the interview. He really spilled the beans of on Andrew. Ooh, I'm gonna check that out. Yes, Tiger Hub. Tone Deaf Willie strikes again. Quadrat Queen, that is a little weird to be honest. Why didn't his team think about this? Well, wasn't it the same thing with Catherine and the rugby, where she was it the rugby or the football for women when she said good luck to the English team but not to the Welsh team. So I don't understand why they keep doing that. They are just making themselves look really bad. And so you have to wonder what was even the point of giving them the Prince and Princess of Wales titles? Like I need somebody to explain what was the point of that. Gail, Wales should hurry with that referendum. Yes, start the petition now. And so by the time the World Cup is finished, and Wales wins, there'll be a great cherry on the cake. Wales winning the World Cup, and we start the referendum for independence. Mina, that's why the people of Wales don't like the royal family now. I don't know if okay, I won't say that Wales has never liked the royal family, but there's always been a pocket of republicanism in Wales. Legs, thank you so much for the super chat. You said, what's annoying is how the media covers archetypes. They don't want to highlight the content, but want to make it seem like Meghan is narcissistic. Yes, it is incredibly annoying. But the good thing about this is that those episodes will be out there forever. So in 20, 30, 40 years, nobody can rewrite history, and everybody will see and hear the platform that Meghan created for these women to be able to speak their truth, therefore triggering important conversations for other women to be able to speak their truth and about their experiences. Fatimata, why they don't call William and Kate Prince and Princess of London or Manchester? I can't understand why the royal institution can't let go of the world's titles. Yes. Okay. Elaine, you said I read that Wales have a petition going to remove the title of Princess Wales as they do not want William to represent their country. 38,000 so far. Oh, that's amazing. Go Wales. All right. Tyler Perry was at an event honoring Kim Kardashian, apparently for her work with an organization called Baby to Baby, and he told a story that um, he had. Sorry, I actually had this on a slide, but it doesn't. Wait, hang on a second. Ah, yeah. For some reason, the slide didn't load. Give me 1 second. Okay, so he said that last year, in the midst of the global infant formula shortage that left shelves across the world empty and families scrambling to feed their young children. I mean, I don't know if I'd say across the world, maybe in parts of the US, but anyway, it says an employee who works for Tyler Perry came to their boss for help. Their kid needed formula, and like millions of families at the moment, they could not find it anywhere. Not in store after store, city after city, state after state. Perry began the hunt on their behalf and came up empty. He ended up calling Prince Harry and Meghan, who at the time were in in London, sorry, asking if stores across the pond were as hard up as those in the US. They weren't. Um, we had plenty of formula here. He told his employee that Markle was going to stores on their behalf. That's how dire the crisis was. Wow. So Meghan was out here searching for formula? Perry told the story to a group of 800 guests gathered at Los Angeles Pacific Design Center on Saturday evening to celebrate the annual Baby to Baby Gala, which raises money for children living in poverty. He introduced the night's honored Giving Tree Award recipient, Kim Kardashian, and told the crowd that included Olivia Wilde, Kerry Washington, Miranda Kerr, and other celebrities. Amazing. Yeah, Meghan always doing the Lord's work, and Harry as well. It was great to hear that little story from Tyler Perry. Mild World, if William is that petty to not recognize the team because Wells wants him to relinquish the title, then he is kind of proving their point exactly. Victoria, Prince works shy, should learn the Welsh language first. Well, isn't this a point that came up earlier that if he knew that he was going to take the Welsh title, I mean, you wouldn't even bother learning just some basic phrases? I mean, I learn basic phrases of a language when I'm just going on holiday, just to be respectful. Hello, how are you? Where's the bathroom? Just to be respectful of the country that you're visiting. He is the whole Prince of Wales, who's going to be the whole King of the United Kingdom and its Commonwealth realms. And he couldn't just learn some basic Welsh? The laziness. But I guess William just thought, you know what? I'm just going to give you a smile here and there.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's lots more than financial.
Yeah. Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So,
Yeah, exactly. That's why he didn't want to learn Welsh. Cookies and Cream, I love how Tyler Perry is defending and standing by the Sussexes. He's a great friend to them, indeed. Sylvia, Meghan and Harry volunteered at Baby to Baby, and they also sent diapers to Baby with sponsor Procter and Gamble. Yes, I remember this. Was this? It was during lockdown, right? Was it during lockdown they did that? Rochelle, Anne, did you see the Daily Fail article about Harry and Meghan RFK gala? In order to be seated, it will cost $1 million to be in the room. I don't believe that that's true, hun. I think that the price for the I mean, to be honest, I haven't read that article. I haven't looked into this. And even if it is true, so be it, because I think it's worth paying the money if you've got the money. I mean, these are people who, for whom 1 million is like nothing, and they can afford to give that money. And that money is going to go to a good cause anyway. So if it costs 1 million for a multi-millionaire or billionaire to be in the same room with Harry and Meghan, if the money is going to a good cause, then I think that's absolutely fine. And if the Daily Fail are trying to spin that into something negative, well, I mean, what's new on this planet? That's what they do. They want to stoke jealousy, and they want to keep the average poor working class person in this state of mediocrity where it's not okay to aspire to greater things. It's not okay to aspire to be somebody who's well moneyed. It's a completely different attitude and way of thinking and living here in comparison to the US, where you celebrate people who are successful and well moneyed. Janita Smith. This video will haunt them forever. Yes. At every opportunity, at every opportunity, when it suits the conversation, I will play that video. I mean, I play it at least once a week, do I not?
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
Sometimes it's that's more than financial.
well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, Marina, Harry and Meghan highlighted Baby to Baby back in 2019 to 2020. Yeah, lovely. Mad World, and exactly the money that is paid to attend is going to charities, not in their pockets. Yes, they're going to charities and a nice tax write-off as well, which never hurts. Rahini, if billionaires are paying to be in a room with Harry and Meghan, it just shows their power and influence. Exactly. Right. To finish off, Archetypes. An incredible conversation with. Oh, let me just find the slide. Where did I put it now? Who did? Just give me a second. For some reason, a lot of my slides have not loaded today. So let me just put on the music while I get this loaded properly. Okay. Actually, before I go on to archetypes, just something important that I wanted to say for the listening community. The other day, a caller came up to the stage, and she was speaking a little bit more slower and delayed. Somebody commented in the chat that the way that she was talking was really annoying, and if I could please remove the caller. Guys, please do remember to be kind to other members of the community. You don't know if, somebody has some kind of disability or some kind of speech impediment. You probably noticed, even myself, I suffer from a small stutter, and I'm still working on how I speak, and this podcast has been a great therapy for me. Um, and I feel that I am improving, but I know that it's a very difficult and long journey if you have some kind of speech impediment. And I do know that the young lady who was talking herself does have a slight speech impediment. So just please be kind to people when they're on stage. You never really know what's going on with someone. I was a bit surprised to see that comment from somebody in our community, but please do be patient with people when they come up. People do get nervous. even me, sometimes I struggle to, um, articulate my points or to say things in a certain way. And just let's please remember to just be patient when somebody comes up on stage. If they are being a little bit slow or if they are kind of messing up their points a bit, just, be patient and try and encourage the person. Please don't be nasty. So I just wanted to say that before we continue. Um, oh, thank you so much, Legs, for the super chat. William and Kate's event costs even more money too, but invite because unpopular. Oh, what? Because they're unpopular. Yeah, I mean, there's no issue with putting a price tag or a high price tag on an event if you know that the patrons are going to pay that money, and if it's going towards something um good. And at least what Harry and Meghan are doing is legitimate. I mean, it's not cash for honors. You're not having cash in, you know, suitcases. uh, Fatimata, the Daily Fail would have been happy if someone wanted to pay $1 million to be in the presence of Kate William. Joseph says you're becoming a little shady having that clip ready to go. Listen, I've got all of the clips ready to go, all of them. I've got a whole little collection of shady laughs and memes. Whatever the other royals take an L, I've got this one.
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
Whenever the royal rodents are lying, we've got this one.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied. It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied. It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got all the time for all the shade on this channel. Okay, outside this perspective, you thought that this was the best episode of Archetypes so far. I think it was too. So the episode was The Audacity of the Activists with Jameela Jamil and Shoreh Agdashlo. I most definitely butchered her name, and I am so sorry. But she was absolutely magnificent. What a brave and wonderful woman. Yes, it is all happening in Iran right now. People are fighting for their freedoms, and women have been at the forefront of this. There is a morality police in Iran, and they enforce quote unquote morality, and part of that is telling women to cover their heads, and that should be something that is a choice. If that's how you want to express your religion, then you're more than free to wear a hijab. But if you don't want to, it should be a choice. But just in general, there is a lot beyond that that the revolutionists in Iran want to see in terms of change. And it was great to hear from someone who lived through the initial revolution, and for her to now, all these years later, be seeing this happen. And she spoke of how impressed she was with the young activists, many of them very young women, and how they were using social media. Meghan asked her, what do you feel is different now from when you were going through this? And she said, well, because one of the main differences is social media and how people are using social media to get their voices out. And Jameela, Jameela, there was something that she said that really struck a nerve with me, and I think with many of us, when she talked about her suicide attempt. and how the hatred towards her just got too much. But also, what really got to her was the way in which the public, the British tabloid reading public, seemed to relish in her getting bullied and beaten by the press. And one of her biggest bullies, the biggest bully on the airwaves, is Piers Morgan. And what I didn't know actually was that the bullying of Jameela really increased and really kicked off after she had defended Meghan. Because in the very early days of Meghan being part of the royal family, I wasn't really following Meghan and Harry. So, and being somebody that doesn't really pay too much attention to the tabloids, I didn't actually know that all of this was going on. So I didn't catch on that there was a big smear campaign against Jameela, and I didn't know that it really kicked off after she defended Meghan. So not only were these people going after Meghan, but they were also going after people who were defending Meghan. And Jameela, being a woman and being a woman of color, they made sure to really come down hard on her. It was almost relentless. And one of the things that Jameela said was because she's not white, referring to Meghan, and because she's smart, strong, opinionated, rebellious, beautiful, happy, and has everything they never will, she's a terrifying threat to patriarchy because she doesn't fit the stereotype for women. They discredit her because they can't kill her. Where's the lie? And I've actually been lucky enough to meet Jameela very briefly many years ago. I did a volunteer project for an organization called Orange Rock Corps. And basically, the whole premise was you showed up for a day, you did some volunteer work, and then you got a ticket to a music concert. And Jameela was there along with Vivi Brown. And they came over to our group, and we were all very, very nervous. Like, because she's been famous for a while. She really made a name for herself as a presenter. And we were all just like, oh my god, these two like famous women who we love so much. And they were just so chill and so nice and so sweet. And so to then see this smear campaign about directed at Jameela was very shocking. I couldn't understand where it was coming from, why there was so much hatred towards her. And I figured at the time it was because she was she came out very strong speaking about woke issues. And originally that's why I thought that the tabloid press were attacking her. But now to find out the reason it was amplified was because she stood up for Meghan. And at some point, something has to be done about Piers Morgan, because how many women does this man have to publicly bully before he is dealt with? You know, he will sit there and he'll talk about cancel culture and I'm being cancelled. You've had every major platform throughout your entire career. Was one of the most powerful editors in the United Kingdom. You failed at that. Came over to CNN in the US and was literally handed Larry King's career on a silver plate, Larry King's platform. And you failed at that. he's been on, talent shows. You were given Good Morning Britain. Now you're on talk. I mean, what has Piers Morgan not been given? And he's still the type of person that will sit there and talk about being cancelled. And yet, anytime he's given a platform, and he's been given the biggest platforms you can be given, any journalist can be given, he uses them to slander and bully women, whether it's Meghan, whether it's Jameela, whether it's Simone Biles. He came after Simone Biles, who was struggling at the Olympics. This is a young lady who was a victim of sexual assault and had to go back to the Olympics and perform on an international level. Like, I'm so sorry that she had a bad day or two. And what does Piers Morgan choose to do? He slanders her. He did it to Lady Gaga. He did it to Madonna. After Ariana Grande had to suffer the trauma of seeing her fans get blown up at a concert, he goes after Ariana Grande. So I don't know what it's going to take to get this man held, hold him accountable for what he's been doing. But eventually something has to give. And also on that, what Jameela also talked about was the way in which just the press and society and the tabloids come after any woman who wants to be a strong voice, who wants to be an activist, who wants to speak her mind. And part of it is, as the ladies talked about, a tool not just to bring down that woman, but to also discourage other women. And you could just hear how passionate Jameela was in her work. you could hear how passionate Jameela was, and you could hear the way in which Meghan was receiving the message as well. Like, even though you couldn't see them, you could feel it. And Meghan even talked about this, whole thing about attacking people for being woke. And she even says, yeah, I know it's, going to be fodder. Well, I'm paraphrasing. She said that she knew that, it was going to trigger the tabloids. But she talked about the word woke and its actual meaning, and why the mainstream tabloids attack that word, or anyone that anyone that is a strong-minded activist who talks about being woke. And really, it's just about being conscious, right? It's not anything bad. They've just turned that word into something bad. So I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about the episode. I feel that this was the best episode so far. And I just love that Meghan allows the women to be as passionate and as strong-minded and as vocal as they want to be. And she swears a lot. Jameela swears a lot in this podcast episode, but it was brilliant. And another thing that Jameela actually says is that Meghan reached out to her when she was in her darkest moment. And that this is something that Meghan does often. It doesn't surprise me. She rang Naomi Osaka, and I'm sure there's many other famous women who have gone through a lot in the media, who she has, rang and been a soft shoulder to cry on. But from everything that we heard about Meghan, even in her pre-royal life, that is who she's always been. So that's all I have to say about the episode. If you haven't listened to it, make sure you do. And we'll go to your comments and before we wrap things up. Okay. V Thomas. Yes. Back to what I was saying earlier about the person who made a comment about the way somebody was speaking. Yes, it was awful for someone to say. I was listening to the caller and I was proud of her to come up and speak. Shame on that person who wrote that. Yes. Thank you so much, Light Side of the Moon. Yes. Carol Lund, I have a hard time in my reading and I'm so much better. Yes. It takes a lot to come up and speak, especially when you're you're somebody that struggles. Tiger Cub, I'm too nervous to even speak in public. Bravo to the caller for even daring to get on air. Yes. And we should encourage everyone to come up and speak and never be afraid, you know? Tris and Charles, thank you for saying that, Duchess. My son has been in speech therapy for years. You never know if people are having difficulties or nervous. Yes. You really do never know. Oh, I hear that the screeching orange has decided to run for president again. Um, because we didn't get enough comedy the first time, so now he's coming back to give us more. Christ. Valerie. Hi everyone, just come back from Italian lessons. Valerie, you're learning Italian? Why are you learning Italian? You were trying to get an Italian man? I know a girl who was dating a German and who started taking German lessons. Imagine. All the things we do for men. And then they ended up breaking up anyway. But at least she knows some German. Why did you choose to do Italian, Valerie? Why that language instead of another one? Lorna, Harry and Meghan's event is only $1 million. If you're going to be sitting at their table, the rest of the tables go to various amounts. Okay, thank you for clearing that up, Lorna. Margaret, I was crying when I was listening to Archetypes. I was so sad what's happening in Iran. It's very sad, but unfortunately, when you've got madmen running the place, people are forced to fight for their freedom. You know, it could all be so much more peaceful on this earth if people weren't obsessed with having power over others, more so power over women. And the podcast actually ended with a I don't know if he said it was a poem, but just they read something out in Farsi, the Iranian language, and it was just very uplifting to listen to. Cookies and cream. Listen, family, we need to encourage and be supportive of one another, not discourage one another. Yes, indeed. Jameela is a girl crush. I loved her on The Good Place. She is very, very beautiful. And um she also spoke about her eating disorders, and how she came that. And she has been a huge advocate for pushing back against celebrities and publications who push unrealistic beauty standards on to young women girls. I know that she's spoken out against the likes of the Kardashians for, pushing these very harmful diet teas and diet lollipops and all of these weird things. Um, when it comes to our bodies, the number one thing you need to focus on is health and nourishing your body physically and mentally. That is the most important thing. Not trying to live up to a very one-dimensional, restrictive idea of beauty, because you'll almost never actually live up to it. Juanita, Piers is so obsessed with Meghan. If I was his wife, I'd divorce him. Well, apparently she went on a 6-week break. So haven't heard any updates from that. But yeah, I'd divorce him too. I mean, if this court case goes against him, he could lose a lot of money. So put the divorce papers in now, girl, and get the money now. Mina, it was a surprise to me that she had suicidal thoughts. I'm glad she's all right. Well, the way they came after her in the press, it was just awful. And they do it over and over and over again to women in media. Madwell, those type of events always have a price tag. It's normally for raising money for some charity. And yes, also tax write-off, yes. So it's not anything different or unusual from what a lot of wealthy people do when hosting big events. So why is it a big deal that Harry and Meghan are doing it? Sylvia, Duchess of Success, actually, PM, is that Piers Morgan? Started his craziness against Meghan shortly after the wedding. He even came to the US with it. First, it was Meghan ghosted him, and his imagination kept on building. Yeah. I mean, somebody can only ghost you if they actually paid attention to you. And I don't even think that Meghan paid much attention to him. Yes, Jonito, Piers is weak. He only attacks women. Well, actually, he does go after men too, but not in the same way that he attacks women. Like, he doesn't have the same energy for men that he has for women. He doesn't. Tiger Hub, how the English media think such a hateful, vitriolic misogynist like Piers Morgan having his platform and spewing that hate and lies is acceptable is beyond me. Well, it's become acceptable here. And it's truly disgraceful. The biggest mistake Pissy made was coming for Beyonce. He wasn't ready for the Beehive. Yeah. And this was after Beyonce gave him an interview when he was still on CNN. And I don't know if he thought that Beyonce was going to be friends with him. And then it was after Beyonce's Super Bowl performance. And that's when he came after her or started to come after her. Because Beyonce dared to step into her blackness. Tamika, she schooled me on the woke word. Yes, I'm glad that Meghan spoke about that. Gal Anita, I was schooled on suffragette. Yes, that's also another really good point that I've got to mention. I didn't know the origin of that of the et in suffragette. And actually, Meghan said that the et was added as an insult, and she said that. Oh, wait, let me find it. So sorry, I didn't put it on the slide because that's a very, very good point. Hang on a moment. Oh, yeah. So she said, Elaine Ways, journalist and author, the term et was made up by a journalist in the Daily Fail in London. It was 1906. So the Daily Fail has been ridiculous for a very long time. And he was making fun of the more militant suffragists in the UK. And so he used the diminutive et to belittle them. So if you listen to the podcast, Meghan actually mentions this, but she says that I'm not going to mention the publication or the journalist to not give attention to the publication, but it was in fact the Daily Fail. But then they turn around as often happens in a movement, and they decided to own it. So et was used to belittle them, and they decided to own it. They said, okay, you're going to call us suffragettes. We're going to call ourselves suffragettes. But that was in Britain. The American press began using it too, just because it was cute and expressed the disdain most American newspapers held for the movement. It's easier to say, I have to admit it. So yes, thank you so much for bringing that up, Gal Anita, because it was in fact a Daily Fail journalist in 1906. That's how long these people have been being fools. Who turned suffragists into suffragettes, trying to belittle these women, but they decided to own the phrase instead. They decided to own the archetype. Joan Commonwealth, Jamil basically let Meghan know that there are people out there fighting on her behalf. This was the best podcast. Yes. And I hope that Meghan got that. I mean, I hope that she's known that for a while, that there are people fighting for her. But like I've said, and even Tina and Michelle have said in the past, at this point, it's not just about Meghan. It's about the wider conversation that what was done to Meghan and what continues to be done to Meghan, how that reflects on wider society. All right. Who's going to get the last word of the day? Thank you, everyone, so much for all of the commentary, for the super chats and super stickers. And yes, Friday will be a live calling day. So if you have anything to say, please get your notes ready. Valerie, you're going to Italy on holiday next year. Or enjoy your holiday. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet you a fine man. I've literally just saw a TikTok, actually, of a Italian guy and an African girl. I don't know what country she comes from, but it's a country where they speak Swahili. Where do they speak Swahili? This is how bad I am. But anyway, he learned how to speak Swahili and then proposed to her in Swahili. How cute is that? Lorna Williams, love your live chat. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for showing up and supporting as always. Himi fan, what is the need to have power over women? That's a real head scratcher to me. You see, all throughout history, yes. Listen, just go to the sociology section of the bookstore and then go to the feminist shelf, and you'll find the answer to your question in many of those books, I'm sure. Anne Lewis, Piers Morgan is a psycho and gets thrills from abuse. He cannot talk about protecting women when he does it himself. He is a sick Jekyll and Hyde personality. I actually think that he does absolutely get off on abusing women publicly, and he's never been held accountable for it. So he's just going to continue until he is. Big Orange Baby needs to be in a big orange prison. I mean, how do Republicans feel about this? Are they happy about this? Are they happy that he's back, or would they rather someone else? Are they sick of him as well? I haven't been keeping up with American politics too closely to know. So please do educate me. Andrea, do not underestimate the power this platform is giving to others, being allowed to speak and discuss. More power to us women, developing our talents and gifts which boost others. Indeed. Thank you so much, Andrea. Rochelle, Anne, is it true the UK inflation rate hit an all-time high today? Yes, that is true. There's inflation across the board, especially with food. So all of those people who were laughing at me for learning about long-term food storage and for starting a vegetable garden, who's laughing now? All right. Elena, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Treat each other the same way you would like to be treated. Thank God for his blessings. Have a blessed evening, everyone. Indeed. Thank you so much for coming as always, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
I know you don't mean to, but you're blocking my view. I know you got issues, but I got my shit too. I don't wanna be your therapy no more, no more. You don't wanna hear this, but it's you, it's not me. Ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Catch you on the flip side. Maybe we can be friends when you're not so fragile. when you know yourself well. Tell me down the sweet life when I do things for me, 'cause I don't wanna be a therapy, I wanna be free. So ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me just stay, do stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la
sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's that's more than financial.
well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So you know.